A very happy Wednesday afternoon to you, and it's time for our fourth installment for the year of the IU Indy Coaches Show here on the ISC Sports Network. We're coming to you live from Jags Crossing inside of University Tower. We do this every other Wednesday from noon until 12:30. Then we got three great coaches joining us, starting with the men's soccer team and head coach Sid van Druenen. And Sid and I have been, we've known each other for many years and kind of bonding over some misery in terms of finding goals over the course of the last 3 or 4 weeks. So when it's struggling to find the back of the net, how do you kind of keep your sanity?
I don't know. If anybody has any advice, let me know. You try to focus on all the elements you can control. You try to make sure the guys keep believing in the process. And you put your head down and you work twice as hard. I think that's how I've been raised, and that's how I've always coached, and that's how we're going to keep doing it.
So you are less than 24 hours removed from your last contest, which was a non-conference game, which once you get to this point in time of the year, you kind of treat a little bit differently anyway. But overall, your observations from a 1-0 loss against Bellarmine last night.
Yeah, I think it's probably the best Bellarmine team we've played in the past 4 years. I mean, they're doing great. I mean, they scored a heck of a beauty of a free kick goal on us. For us, we had 3 goals in mind. I think we checked 2 boxes. I mean, one, we wanted to give some more guys some playing time, and I think they did well. We wanted to get through the game healthy. That also happened. And then we wanted to score some goals, and we did not succeed in that. But overall, I mean, pleased with the performance, pleased with the work rate and the effort the guys put in, and that's been like that all year. But flip side of that, it's been more of the same as well. So mixed feelings a little bit about last night.
All right, so you've got 3 days in between matches and a little bit of travel, not terrible travel. You got going to play Northern Kentucky coming up on Saturday. How do you handle training now when you've got a short turnaround from a Tuesday match to a Saturday match?
Yeah, I think the focus for us next 3 days is, one, mentally regroup and kind of forget about the past couple of weeks and focus on the next game. Physically recover. That's the focus for today. I mean, it's a recovery light session. Definitely throw some finishing work in there, some transitional activities, set piece work. Then that'd probably be the Thursday, and then Friday, the usual match day -1. What does NKU do? How do we respond to that? And then, go to war on Saturday.
You have experience as a coach at what is now the USL Championship level. Obviously, I have been around that league for several years as well, and I think about, just how long those seasons have become, to where you're kicking off in March, you're playing playoff matches in November. It makes men's college soccer seem like a sprint or any version of college soccer. Can you believe you're down to the final 3 weeks of the regular season at this point?
No. I'll be honest, the first 2 months went by quick, and I think everybody was in a great mood going through that process. And the last 3 weeks with the results not going our way have felt like 10 months. We're still in the game-to-game mindset. We're focused on Saturday, and hopefully we're not 3 weeks away, but 6 or 7 weeks away. But we'll see, man.
And again, of all the sports in our league, I don't think there is any that is more compact from top to bottom than men's soccer. Just play the team that's in first. It was a 1-0 loss to Purdue Fort Wayne on Saturday. There's literally 7 points separating you guys and them, knowing you're fighting for a conference tournament berth coming up these next few weeks. Just kind of your thoughts as to mentally where you and the guys are right now.
Well, I think that's the part that we have to understand, right? It's you are 2 wins away from being top 4, and I think we fancy ourselves against who we're playing, and I think we have to be able to turn things around in the mental side as well. Like, yes, we've lost a couple of games in a row. We're struggling to score, but we are playing against top teams in the conference. I think we can look at some of the goals we've conceded and take some responsibility there. And I also think in the final third, I think we can be better, and I think we can be more desperate and hungry to get at the end of it. We're far from. We have it completely in our own control. There's 4 games to go. We determine our destiny, and I think even though we feel like it's not fun right now, right? I mean, we feel like we should have done better. We haven't been able to do so, but I do think the opportunity of Saturday and the games to come is, let's stop talking about it and let's get the job done.
Give me a scouting report we'd expect from NKU on Saturday.
NKU under Tom, they're going to be defensively sound. They're confident. I mean, they just come off a win against Wright State where they scored with 30 seconds on the clock. They're in the same situation as us. It's not must win yet, but at the same time, you definitely don't want to be dropping points right now. So I expect a hardworking, defensively strong team. Like it's always been with Tom. It's going to be a battle like every single Rising League team. The environment should not be difficult for us. Turf field, big field, just like we have at home.
Right.
So much more worried about us than we are about NKU right now. But at the same time, we got to respect that they'll put in a shift. That's the expectation.
Once you get past NKU, you've got back-to-back home games, Detroit Mercy and Cleveland State. And, again, it's a little bit different now because of player movement. You got a lot of seniors on this team. Some of these are kids that literally kind of have for a semester is the way the world works. But there are others that have been here the entire time that you have been here at IU Indy. What's it like knowing that for a few of these guys, hey, you're kind of entering the last few weeks where you're going to be their coach?
Yeah. Well, there is this thing up in the air about a fifth year, so we don't even really – that's not even sure, right?
So no senior – just kidding about that marriage. Just kidding.
We're saying our goodbyes, but at the same time, it could be a see you soon. So I don't even think the guys are looking that far ahead. Like I said, we're in a mindset of this Saturday, and then I think next week we'll start worrying about senior night. But at the same time, I'll give those guys a shout-out, right? I mean, you got three guys, Brady, Ethan, and Spencer, that have been here since I've been here. It's going to be the first – I guess graduating class from guys that have been here in the 4 years. I think hopefully they've had good experience, good careers, but I'll be always grateful for what they've done for the program.
Without having his minutes in front of me from last night, I know that Brady had basically sat 45 minutes the entire year going into last night. Having that guy that you can count on in Brady Horn at the back, what has that meant to you?
Yeah, he sat for about 30 last night, so he still played plenty. I mean, Brady is in my opinion the what college soccer should be about.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of talks about, the internationals and transfers and the one-year guys. Brady is the local kid that came in, didn't play a whole lot year one. Then there was an injury, so he played playoffs, did great. Solidified his spot year two, and year three became a captain, and now year four is playing every minute. If I could draw out how I think college careers should be and what college sports should be all about, I think Brady Horn is what it's all about, and my hope is that we can do that with a lot more guys.
One of the things that Sid and I were talking about before the show started is upcoming traffic at his stadium. So obviously you have men's soccer, you have women's soccer, and maybe there might be a conference tournament game or two, we hope, in terms of how things shape up there. The Indy 11 have likely their final home game of the season coming up on Saturday. 2 weeks after that, the IHSAA Soccer State Finals are in town. In fact, the home finale on Halloween for Sid and his team is at 2 in the afternoon to make way for state finals that night, which means he can fully participate in trick-or-treating that way, that there is a benefit that comes or anybody on the team. What is it like having a place that is in demand and hopping on a regular basis the way Carroll Stadium is?
I think 9 out of 10 times is great, right? I mean, you eliminate that one time where you have to work around a conflict, but I think having a pro team playing here, having the interest of playing at the facility, I think it's a great facility. It's downtown. It's a big venue. I think it helps with recruiting. I think guys want to play on the field. It's a great experience. When every team that comes down, guys pull their phones out and they're taking pictures, and like you don't do that really in other venues in the conference. So I think our venue is great, and we'll work with some of the small little hiccups here or there.
Good luck in Northern Kentucky, my friend. I'll see you next Saturday.
Thanks so much.
Again, I'm fortunate to have the call of both of the two remaining home games for IU Indy men's soccer, October 25th at 5 o'clock against Detroit Mercy, and Halloween Friday afternoon against Cleveland State. And good luck to the Jags in Highland Heights this weekend. We'll take a break from soccer. Angela Berry-White will join us to finish the show. Women's basketball head coach Kate Bruce will join us next. Again, we are live at Jags Crossing inside of University Tower. We're back with more in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
Odds are you'll never need an open craniotomy from our highly skilled neurosurgeons or treatment for medullary thyroid cancer. Odds are your child will never need a heart transplant. And you might never need screening for genetically inherited high cholesterol. But if you do, trust the healthcare system 9 out of 10 Indiana doctors have chosen for their patients' care. Indiana University Health, no matter the odds.
We gon' push it to the limit, we gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, we gon' ride, together. So together we ride, certified. And together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. And together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever.
This is Molly. She loves road trips, hikes, her dog Max, and cars that fit her lifestyle. Like this cool new ride that she got with help from Indiana Members Credit Union at a great low rate. And for when she's on the go, IMCU makes it easy for her to pay from anywhere thanks to their digital banking. Looks like Molly is really getting the max from her credit union.
Welcome back on the ISC Sports Network. Again, it is our IU Indy Coaches Show. We are here each and every Wednesday, every other Wednesday. There we go. Next time we are here will be October the 29th to kind of break around both the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays. But we're at that transitional point in the calendar. You just heard us talking to Sid van Druenen. His team has 4 more regular season matches left to go. We are not far away from women's basketball, men's basketball. Swimming already is underway. Season tips off in less than 3 weeks, and there are these things like exhibition games or secret scrimmages that are taking place literally in the next few days. And joining us now, the women's basketball coach at IU Indy, and Kate Bruce. It is always good to see you, Coach. How are you?
You too. I'm great. Happy to be here.
All right. So when I look at the schedule, it says November the 3rd. Any other games that we should know about but before now and then?
Just those secret scrimmages that we're not going to
can't talk about. We tweet out results after they happen, but before that, we don't say a word. Parts unknown as to where they might be. Just overall, how's preseason practice and workouts going for your team?
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, as you know, we have pretty much a whole new team, 5 returners, and 4 of them didn't really play. We had a couple of red shirts, injuries, things like that. So whole new team, some new transfers, some new high school players, but so far so good. I think they've been adapting well. I think they've been really gelling on the court, having some chemistry, and I think I can speak for them that they are definitely ready to play a different opponent at this point.
Ready to see somebody else.
Yes, exactly.
Now, coming from the Division II ranks, were you used to a little more roster fluidity in terms of kind of having different faces, maybe a different team every year? Or are you adapting like everybody else, thinking, all right, my team is now truly different each year? As a coach, how are you handling that?
Yeah, I think you've got to think that way.
Yeah.
You know, I was spoiled over the years at Division II that we would lose 1 or 2 players and then a couple to graduation, but you kind of had a better idea of who's coming back. And I think with the NIL, you really don't know. And I think you have to start coaching that way and do your best to make those bonds. And but just know that sometimes, you know, people are going to leave for the money, you're not playing, and that's fine. I think we've kind of catered our offense a little more and started leaning towards simplifying it a little bit because you don't have the return and players on the floor that can kind of help you coach, and that's okay. But, yeah, I think every coach in America is dealing with the same thing, so it's who's going to be able to adapt to that.
While there were players that exited, you have some pretty talented players that have come in.
Yes.
And, again, I'm a little biased in terms of my knowledge level of those that played high school basketball in the state of Indiana or in and around the Indianapolis area.
Yes.
Have you learned how to tell Haley and Olivia Smith apart yet without numbers?
I think I have it.
Okay.
There's a couple birthmarks that make it a little easier, but I think I've got it figured out in the face. Luckily, they're really nice about not trying to mess with me and trick me and switch their jersey numbers or anything like that. But, no, I think I got that figured out.
All right, so for those who don't know, Haley and Olivia Smith played at Fishers High School. They were part of a team that was a state runner-up 3 years ago, their senior year at Fishers. They were part of teams that didn't score a lot, but you frankly didn't score on them. What can you now do defensively because you've got those 2 ladies on your roster?
Yeah, I got to say, I this summer, you know, I filled in to be in shell, so just stationary where I just had to reverse the ball. And when they were guarding me, I was like, take it, don't want it. I think you hit it right on the head. I mean, the both of them, their effort, their energy, and just their athleticism. Yeah, we should be a lot better defensively. We have a lot of players who are very similar in that 5'9" athleticism where we feel like we can do some things, switch some things. And, yeah, they've been a great addition. And I think just like you said, they came from a winning high school program. They transferred from Ball State, who has been top of the MAC the last few years. So they just know how to win basketball games, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to win.
And something historically, even when players would have to sit a year when they moved, which obviously hasn't been the case for some time, this has always been a great destination for whether it's women's basketball, men's basketball players that leave town and after years say, you know what, this is not for me.
Come on home.
I want to go
Here
home.
we are.
Tamara Mills from Lawrence North High School after a year down in Queens, I want to say, in Charlotte. What can she do for your team this year?
Yeah, she's very similar to them. And, you know, she played at a dominant program in Lawrence North, who's traditionally really good. They just won a state title last year. So, again, a winning mentality, and I think we needed to bring that in. And then very athletic and a really, really good shooter. So I think she can do it all. So we're excited about her.
Final new player I'll ask you about it again. I think her role might be different just being a younger player. And, again, it illustrates with so much player movement, it is sometimes tougher for freshmen to make an impact. Miley Wilkeson was part of a team that made a state championship last year at Greensburg in 3A. Again, as a true freshman, what sort of role can she play on your team?
Yeah, Miley's been great, has such a great attitude, such a hard worker, usually in the front on all our conditioning things. And, you know, like you said, I mean, there's a theme here, right? They all come from winning programs, and a lot of our transfers do, and I think that's what we needed to kind of look into. Maybe you weren't the star, but you understood your role and you understand what it takes to win, and that's the goal this year.
I remember having a conversation with you about this same time last year about how much I loved your schedule. You're like, well, it's pretty tough. I'm not sure if I love it. What I do love about the fact is that you have Indiana State, you have Ball State, and you have Bradley all coming to your campus in the first 2 weeks of the season to play. So, again, I look at your schedule. It's great. It's what it should be. Just kind of your thoughts about what November looks like in terms of schedule.
Yeah, it'll be nice to have some home games in the jungle, and the schedule is still competitive. You know, we open up November 3rd with Indiana State. I think they're in a similar situation as us, and they have a whole new roster, and we're not going to know what to expect, right? They're going to play their scrimmages. We're not going to see them play, so we're going to have to rely on communication. But I really like how the schedule played out, and I think these games in the non-conference are really going to prep us for conference, which is ultimately what we're trying to win.
And conference rolls around as of the 1st of December, 2 or 3 games, and you have the full slate that picks back up right around New Year's. And obviously the last 3 years, it has been Green Bay, Cleveland State, Purdue, Fort Wayne, not necessarily in that order, but they have all been top 100 level RPI teams or net rankings, I should say, these days in terms of college basketball. What does the hierarchy of your league look like this year?
I think we're all a little confused. I think I'm serious. Even when I was doing the preseason voting, which means nothing, it's just hard with all the new players coming in. I mean, almost every single roster is new. There's not that many returners like it was going into last year. So it's going to be a matter of how quickly you can get your team to gel. There's some talented players. I would say Green Bay brought in some talent, and obviously another good player from Oakland who transferred there. But it's a new team, and you never know how long it's going to take to start playing together and how that looks. So I think it's an open playing field. We're planning on competing. We're excited about it, and it's any woman's game.
Finally, before we let you go, what are some of the goals that you have set? Or because, again, everything is so new, is it not really about goal setting at this point for your team?
Well, I mean, the goal is to win. And if it's not, you shouldn't be here. But we need to not turn the ball over. That is the secret sauce right there, right? And then just play unselfish basketball. I think from a player standpoint, that's the most fun way to play. I think from a fan standpoint, that's the most fun way to watch a game. And we've really, really been harping on that this year of non-negotiables. And I think we're deep enough this year, which I'm excited about, that we can hold some people accountable. If you don't want to share the basketball, then you're going to have to sit on the bench. But honestly, I don't see that being an issue from what I'm seeing in practice. So we just need to make sure that transitions when the lights come on and we're willing to play together. And the teams that play together will be the teams that win.
And again, folks, if the defense is playing so fast, like there are 2 Smiths out there, there really are. That is on purpose. That is Olivia and Haley. Coach, as always, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Greg.
Good
Great
luck.
To see you.
November the 3rd, again, we are literally 19 days away from the women's basketball season opener at the Jungle. You can catch it on ESPN Plus. Tip time at 6:30. Angela Berry-White will round out the show next as the IU Indy women's soccer team is fighting their way towards a Horizon League tournament berth. We'll wrap that up next here on the ISC Sports Network.
Odds are you'll never need an open craniotomy from our highly skilled neurosurgeons or treatment for medullary thyroid cancer. Odds are your child will never need a heart transplant. And you might never need screening for genetically inherited high cholesterol. But if you do, trust the healthcare system 9 out of 10 Indiana doctors have chosen for their patients' care. Indiana University Health, no matter the odds.
We gon' push it to the limit, we gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. It's together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. It's together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever.
This is Molly. She loves road trips, hikes, her dog Max, and cars that fit her lifestyle, like this cool new ride that she got with help from Indiana Members Credit Union at a great low rate. And for when she's on the go, IMCU makes it easy for her to pay from anywhere thanks to their digital banking. Looks like Molly is really getting the max from her credit union.
Welcome back for the final time today here on the ISC Sports Network. Our next visit here will be Wednesday, October 29th. Again, we do this every other Wednesday, a total of 12 shows during the course of the season, leading you all the way in to early March. Again, much like the men's soccer season is starting to wind down, same thing is true on the ladies' side. They've got 3 consecutive games on the road for returning home to wrap things up the final week of October. Again, in her first year as the head coach at IU Indy, it is Angela Berry-White that joins us. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Doing well. Great to be back with you.
It's good to see you as always. I know you had hoped for more than a point from 2 home games over the course of 4 days this past weekend. Overall, your thoughts, what you saw from your team on Thursday and Sunday?
Oh, well, we're continuing to evolve. We started off in league play, not getting any points. We go on the road. The road is our friend right now. So we are very happy about that. So like I said, the road's our friend. And but what we saw over the weekend, we had to adjust because we had a player go down that had been starting for us. So we got to see some valuable minutes out of a new contributor, which is always good to see. And just trying to get that gel going, with a new starting 11. I'll just say that. So, a little up and down over, the last couple games, but we got a point on Thursday, and just we weren't able to get one. I think we outshot them like 2-1.
Right.
But just didn't fall, our way. So we're looking for big things coming up this weekend.
You have known the game for a long time. You have coached at this level. But after having been in high school now for the last 10, 15-ish years, what are you kind of, for lack of a better term, relearning about the college game here in this your first year here with the Jaguars?
Well, just the preparation is so much more extensive nowadays. Everything from, we have everything at our fingertips.
Right.
We can go on a service and we can find out anything. Stats are already there for us. The breakdown of all the games, and we can actually sit there and learn so much more just from doing that, which is I think is a vital part, and everybody uses it. So as well as you can prepare, you tell your teams. That's what we're here for, to prepare them. To see what we might expect, and then all of a sudden you're able to shut that down and
right.
then find some other way. So, just the many different facets of, the preparedness that we're able to, get our team ready.
This isn't as big of a change from the high school ranks for you, but it is something that is kind of unique to your level of soccer. You know that in most weeks in league play, you're playing twice. And the way that it's spaced out, you're playing Thursday and Sunday. Basically, you never have more than 3 days or more than that where you can just focus on training, healing, recovery, etc. How have you juggled that playing training balance this year?
Oh, well, for us, it was up and down mainly because we had some key injuries.
Right.
And we still have one that's out, and we're hoping, knock on wood, we get Antoine back Sunday.
Because our speed's a game changer.
It definitely is. And you can't teach speed. You really can't. You can teach everything else, but you can't teach speed. And as a veteran player, she knows what it takes. But she went down last year with an injury. Yeah. And so, that hurt, and it hurt again for us this year. But we've had some other players step in. So in terms of what we've been able to knowing that what we've been able to do and get some more players and get some timing. So with our training sessions, it's usually, we look at recovery right after a Sunday game, so we don't see them. They recover on Monday. Then you have a light to moderate training because it's a Tuesday, and then you have game day -1 on Wednesday with a game Thursday. So we relish the times where we have a couple days for training from a weekend to a weekend, and we just try not to get hurt and just maintain and just refocus. And like this week, we did have a little bit of, we didn't have a lot of time, but we worked on just some finishing. And because that was literally, not anything that we were proud of, because Sunday's result was not what we wanted. But we just find the time to work on specifics and try and hone our skills that way.
When I look at your individual stats, the bad news is you only have one player that has more than a goal in the season. The good news is I think you have more players that have scored a goal than ones that haven't for you during the course of the season. What does it kind of say about your group?
Oh, and any given Sunday, all right, any given day of the week, anybody can step up, which is what we're trying to teach. Like, who wants to step up? Who wants to be the star of the moment? And everybody can. I mean, everybody's scored, whether you're obviously our forwards, our attackers, midfielders, and our backs. So I look at it from the standpoint that we are dangerous at every position, and you can't key on one person because you just never know who's going to step up. And that's what we're just trying to preach to them, that step up, relish in that moment, and we'll see where it takes us.
You have the bullies on the block coming up on Thursday, and I know that I know you like that challenge. You want to go take 3 points in a row from them. What do you see from Milwaukee in preparing for the perennial league winner? What are your expectations from that matchup?
Well, like you said, they've been the perennial league winner, and you have to, it's a great measuring stick. So playing them on the road, and like I said, we'd love to play on the road. And I don't know why that is right now. So, we'll take that since we are going on the road this weekend. But we're just looking to see what, if we all show up, I think it'll be a great match. They have a graduate goalkeeper that they got in, which has been, phenomenal for them. And they have many different goal scorers. We know that. But they've been able to put the ball in the back of the net. I look over our last 4 games, and we've conceded only 3 goals in 4 games. I think that speaks volumes. And after they went on their road trip last weekend, they didn't score in one of their games, and they scored on the last seconds.
Yes, literally, yeah.
To come out against Detroit. So they are vulnerable. And you just try to play sound defense and put away your opportunities. So hopefully we're able to put those two together, and we'll have a good result tomorrow night.
So much of our league and leagues like this one is, hey, just get to the conference tournament and you got yourself a chance. Yeah. Literally, you and Oakland are fighting it out for the last transfer spot right now. I guess just how much scoreboard watching are you doing at this point, knowing it may come down to the slimmest of margins?
Well, that's why, trying to get shutouts, trying to make sure that we get points on the board with goals, because only thing we can do is control what we can control, which is our game. So, yes, it's kind of want to look and see, but if we take care of business, we have 4 games to go. We have Oakland, can't even think about Oakland in 3 games. Have to worry about tomorrow night. And, we'll let our play speak for itself. And hopefully, and I think we'll do well over the next couple games.
I did happen to run into your biggest fan on Sunday who left a big room, as Eddie White likes to play, to come cheer you guys on Sunday. I'm sure he wasn't the good luck charm. Do you want me to keep him at the Colts game next time? Would that actually help?
Whatever you can do, but it's great. I don't care who it is to support us. We need all the support we can. So, I'm going to tell him to bring his friends next time.
Eddie and I do have a post-game host summit from time to time as we get together on things like that. Good to see you.
Great to see you too.
Safe travels, all right?
Well, thank you.
Again, the Jaguars on the road for 2 in the next 4 days. Again, at Milwaukee coming up tomorrow, and then at Green Bay on Sunday. And right now the Phoenix are a point back of IU Indy, so that game is a massive one coming up on Sunday afternoon. That'll do it for today's show. Thanks to all of our ISC crew behind the scenes. Thanks to Emily, Lauren, everybody involved from IU Indy Athletics as well. We're back in 2 weeks. Good luck, Jaguars. Thanks for joining us on the ISC Sports Network.
Odds are you'll never need an open craniotomy from our highly skilled neurosurgeons. Or treatment for medullary thyroid cancer. Odds are your child will never need a heart transplant. And you might never need screening for genetically inherited high cholesterol. But if you do, trust the healthcare system 9 out of 10 Indiana doctors have chosen for their patients' care. Indiana University Health, no matter the odds.
We gon' push it to the limit, we gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. It's together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. It's together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever.
This is Molly. She loves road trips, hikes, her dog Max, and cars that fit her lifestyle, like this cool new ride that she got with help from Indiana Members Credit Union at a great low rate. And for when she's on the go, IMCU makes it easy for her to pay from anywhere thanks to their digital banking. Looks like Molly is really getting the max from her credit union.